Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching CNN News 18. This is The Right Stand with me, Poonam Burde. The heat on the Delhi Chief Minister continues in connection with the Delhi Liquorgate alleged scam. Today, Rouse Avenue Court delivered a blow to Kejriwal during the custody hearing. The court extended Enforcement Directorate's custody for Arvind Kejriwal for 4 days until April 1st. Arvind Kejriwal is now going to be in ED custody. The court in its order said that there are sufficient reasons to extend Arvind Kejriwal's custody, particularly keeping in view that the probe agency needs to confront him with other accused. They also said that this interrogation and confrontation should be done without any delay. But during that hearing, we saw high drama that ensued inside the courtroom. Arvind Kejriwal argued his own case. It was a rare moment. He asked for time to present his own case. The judge gave him just 5 minutes to go on to say, despite there were objections that were raised by the Enforcement Directorate's counsel. Arvind Kejriwal said this is a political conspiracy to crush his party. That was the only mission that the ED was out on, he alleged. Kejriwal said that the ED's sole mission was to somehow implicate him, even though there was absolutely no evidence against him. Now, the ED objected to Kejriwal's contentions. They argued that Kejriwal was merely playing to the gallery, but the court and the judge decided to give him his 5 minutes anyway. But let's take a look at why exactly the Enforcement Directorate wanted this extended custody. Remember, they've been granted 4 days, they sought an entire week. The Enforcement Directorate told the court that while Kejriwal's statements have been recorded, he gave evasive replies. They said that they need to confront him with some of the other people, some of the other accused in this case, some approvers as well. 4 more statements of AAP Goa candidates are being recorded. They need to be verified and corroborated as far as the entire case goes, is why we need Arvind Kejriwal in custody, is what ASG Raju said. The Enforcement Directorate then said that they need now to confront Arvind Kejriwal with those Goa candidates and the claims that they've been making. They also allege that Kejriwal has not disclosed his passwords or given any digital access to data. If that doesn't happen, if he does not cooperate and does not give up those data, does not give up those passwords, we will have to break them open, is also what they said in court. The agency alleged that Kejriwal told ED that he will speak to his lawyers and decide whether or not he's going to be giving those passwords or not. And like I said, if Kejriwal does not give up those passwords, we'll have to break them open, said the Enforcement Directorate. They also then reiterated their allegation that Arvind Kejriwal was not cooperating in the probe. He was deliberately not giving his income tax returns. ED also alleged and they said that they have issued summons to excise officials in Punjab as well. They also want to now probe that particular link, which is why they need Arvind Kejriwal in custody. Now, the Delhi Chief Minister himself made his submissions, like I pointed out, in the Rouse Avenue court today. He said that the CBI had filed 31,000 pages. The ED had filed about 25,000 pages relating to this particular matter. Where is the proof? No court has convicted me. There is no case against me. I have not been proven guilty, is what Arvind Kejriwal said. He said, why am I being arrested when there is no case against me made out? To which the Enforcement Directorate just said that we're still investigating. Where is the question of conviction? Kejriwal then said that Magunta Reddy came to him for a land, for a trust that he wanted. Later, he just changed his statement and then named him. He also was speaking of money that exchanged hands. Why are these approvers being trusted is a question he asked. Kejriwal alleged that accused Sharath Reddy had given 55 crore rupees to the BJP via electoral bonds, the data which came out recently. Kejriwal also referred to the statements made by several other accused turned approvers in this case. C. Arvind, Raghav Magunta, his father, and Sharath Reddy. Kejriwal alleged they were all people that had turned approvers in this case. They were being forced to change their statements. The Enforcement Directorate rebutted that count as well. They said that those people who did not give their statements the first time around, all of them have listed their reasons and the ED has already put that on record in court. Kejriwal said that he is named by 4 witnesses in this alleged case. He asked if these 4 statements and comments are enough for a chief minister, for a sitting chief minister to be arrested. The Enforcement Directorate pointed out that the law cannot be different for any individual in this country, be a CM or not. Arvind Kejriwal said that it's being alleged that a 100 crore scam was in the making. But where is the money? Where are these alleged proceeds of crime is what Arvind Kejriwal asked. He went on to highlight that Justice Sanjeev Khanna said that there is money trail that is not yet traced. So why then am I being harassed is the question Arvind Kejriwal had to ask. That's an allegation the Aam Aadmi Party has also been making. The Chief Minister of Delhi then asserted that the motive of the Enforcement Directorate is only to crush the Aam Aadmi Party. That's their single one-point agenda, he said. Kejriwal added that the real liquor scam, in fact, begins post the ED investigation. He told the court that he can be kept in remand for as long as he wants. I do not want to contest it. I'm ready for investigation, but this is the real scam, is what he went on to say. Now, we are in election season. The probe of it is on one side, but this also is about political narratives. It's about the optics. Is this going to hurt Aam Aadmi Party and the India Alliance, who now stand together with Arvind Kejriwal against the Enforcement Directorate, against the BJP, who they allege is orchestrating all of this? That's the big question we ask on The Right Stand.
एलजी कह रहे सरकार जेल से नहीं चलेगी।
ये पॉलिटिकल शेड्यूल करे, जनता इसका जवाब देगी।
ईडी खुद ही कह रही है कि इतने दिनों की रिमांड के अंदर उन्हें कोई जानकारी नहीं मिली। एक चुने हुए मुख्यमंत्री को आप कितने दिनों तक जो है इस तरीके से कैद कर सकते हैं?
When the Supreme Court itself has said there is a money trail of 338 crores being funded to the Aam Aadmi Party, or shall I say the Brushed Aadmi Party, in Goa elections.
Joining me on this broadcast, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Shehzad Poonawala. Abhinandita Mathur, Spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, also joins me. And let me begin by asking the Spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Ms. Mathur, we had Arvind Kejriwal argue for himself in court today. It was a rare moment. We've never really seen such things happen. But the court allowed him to make his submissions, and he went on to do that despite the ED objecting. Despite that, the court has now ruled that there were sufficient grounds, there were sufficient reasons for him to be remanded back to the ED custody.
Good evening. You're right that these are indeed extraordinary circumstances. There is no doubt about it. In fact, our heads hang in shame in the way that the BJP is actually manipulating, exploiting the power that they have. And it is for the world to see. Unfortunately, the law, the PMLA law has been amended by the BJP as such that it is impossible or nearly impossible to get bail. Of course, unless and until you are one of the Reddys who have given 55 crore through the electoral bonds to the BJP, I think that is where the so to speak scam actually lies. That you first harass people, you arrest them, you take 9 statements, and when you're still not satisfied, you perhaps try and cajole the so to speak accused, and then get them to put money into your bank account, and hurrah, that is what the BJP is doing. Somehow try to pass out Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, Mr. Manish Sisodia, Mr. Satinder Jain, Mr. Sanjay Singh. But what the BJP does not realize is that this is not an ordinary opponent. We are the Aam Aadmi Party. This is Arvind Kejriwal. There is no way that you can harass us or intimidate us by just imprisoning us. So I think the BJP is exposing itself, and I'm sure that even now when the BJP spokesperson speaks, the more they talk, the more they expose themselves, and it is for the world to see. In fact, I must tell you that there are a lot of people in Delhi and around the country who are calling us, who said that we are, originally we have been supporting the BJP. But ये अति हो गई है, ये राजधर्म का पालन नहीं कर रही है बीजेपी. The Prime Minister is totally on some sort of a power trip and completely destroying the structure of our country, the democracy and everything else. So this is really a very extraordinary situation. In fact, before we carry on the debate, it's important to also highlight today that, out of the blue now, because of the BJP ka washing machine, now Praful Patel has been, freed by the CBI charges. It's amazing. It's incredible what the BJP is doing, and I must congratulate the BJP spokesperson in advance for defending the undefendable.
And the BJP can come in and respond to the allegations that you've been making. But my question to you, Ms. Mathur, was very pointed. It was the courts that denied relief in the first place, which led to the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal. The Enforcement Directorate had sent 9 summons to him. You may call them illegal and unlawful, but if you and I were summoned, if the common man was summoned by the Enforcement Directorate or any other agency, We could not have gotten away by calling it unlawful and illegal. It's not a luxury we have.
Well, we would also not be, we would also not have the benefit like the BJP gave to the Reddy by giving 55 crores and then the ED not opposing his bail. Look, for the last 2 years, we are well aware that the BJP that is trying to investigate through its agencies, that trying to investigate this case, have actually not found anything substantial here. We know that for the last 2 years, they have been trying to nab Arvind Kejriwal ji, which they have managed to do today. We were very prepared for this, and which is why, we thought that the ED summons were
Sure,
actually
you
illegal.
say that nothing was found, that no money has been found. Kejriwal also says the same thing, but the Enforcement
Well,
Directorate says... Sure, you made your point. Sure, but the Enforcement Directorate...
Yeah.
But the Enforcement Directorate does say that they have statements on record to go on to say. You doubt those statements as well. The probe is still on. But let me get in Shehzad Poonawalla as well. This is just the BJP trying to arm twist agencies to do your bidding. This is the allegation, Shehzad, not just the Aam Aadmi Party makes, but a united opposition has been making.
The AAP spokesperson spoke for 6.5 minutes uninterrupted, so I hope she won't interrupt me when I answer one after the other. First of all, the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson continues to say that Chawanni nahi mili, no money trail was found. Here is the statement of the lawyer for Aam Aadmi Party and Mr. Kejriwal, Mr. Gupta. I quote him from Live Law, and your own reports have also shown it. I am willing to cooperate, he says on behalf of Mr. Kejriwal, but किस लिए arrest किया मुझे? Money trail तो खर्च हो गया है गोवा में. Here is the lawyer coming on record and saying कि money trail तो खर्च हो गया है. By the way, the Supreme Court has spoken of a 338 crore money trail. You won't believe the Supreme Court when it says that. You will believe the Supreme Court when it says something about Chandigarh and mayor elections. Then the High Court, in not a PMLA matter, but in a matter related to CBI, where Manish Sisodia has not been given bail, has said 100 crores kickback has been taken by him, and he's prima facie the architect of the Sharab Ghotala. The lower court and other courts have kept Sanjay Singh, Vijay Nair, Manish Sisodia, and now Mr. Kejriwal in jail. It is not the BJP. So unless Ms. Mathur is trying to imply that the courts are being vindictive, the BJP doesn't decide who remains in jail. It is your actions and the court or what it makes about your actions. But having said that, let me address some of the other questions. I am glad that people are calling her up and saying कि अभी तो अति हो गई, BJP को ये नहीं करना चाहिए था. But your own MPs, the only MP you had in Punjab is joining us. So I don't know which people are calling you. But here are a few questions that need to be asked today. First of all, Mr. Kejriwal has transformed himself from Swaraj to Sharab. He has transformed himself from being in the company of Anna Hazare to being in the company of Lalu Prasad, who's been convicted 4 times. And he's transformed himself from being somebody who used to demand resignation of people at drop of a hat. Lalu Prasad, Mulayam, Sonia Gandhi used to demand their resignation. Today, when the courts are not granting him relief, forget resignation, they won't join investigation, and they say they will run the Sarkar from inside jail. And this is exactly like what Pablo Escobar used to do. So in Delhi, we have a Pablo Escobar. This is unprecedented. But Ms. Mathur, may I ask you that how are you doing this running of the Sarkar from the jail? The first order issued by Atishi Marlena says Office of CMO. Now, unless Mr. Kejriwal has written and signed permission from the court, he cannot issue this to an officer in the CMO. Which officer in the CMO issued this? Why is there no date? Why is there no CR number? And please tell me how this was communicated to Atishi Marlena, because Atishi Marlena did not meet the Honorable Chief Minister. So the only other way is through a non-constitutional position holder. Who was that person? Please tell us and answer it specifically. Secondly, if no money trail has been found, are you implying that the courts are against you and doing vendetta against you and keeping you in jail without any proof? Thirdly, you lied about the High Court order yesterday. Atishi said that yesterday High Court has given you a sense of relief because it has admitted that the arrest is illegal. Para 15, which Ananya Bharadwaj and others have quoted, shows that that was a summation of the petitioner's argument, and the court went on to say that it would be unfair to decide on this matter without listening to the ED, which had not filed its complete reply, and therefore today no interim relief can be granted. But that was manipulated. And then coming to the last point, these are a bunch of people who lied about everything. You remember they said they will make a khulasa about the 800 crore audio tape that we were spending to break their party. Where is that audio tape till today? They made a khulasa about Mr. Jaitley, they had to apologize. They made a khulasa about Mr. Gadkari, they had to apologize. And today they made a khulasa that Arvind Kejriwal knows that about 1 lakh papers are there in favor of him and 4 statements are against him. Now coming to the Sharad Reddy also question. By the way, Sharad Reddy was not granted bail by us. He was granted bail by court. He was made approver by the court. Also, madam, you would like to know.
Did the ED
Can I please answer without you interrupting me? Can I please answer without you interrupting me? Now why are you interrupting me? Also, madam, for your information, you should know that it is your own Goa leaders who are statements are there that 45 crores was paid to them in cash. So please focus on that statement, which is the key statement on the basis of which Mr. Kejriwal is cooling off his heels in jail. And rather than say that this is based on one statement, which is not the correct picture. And secondly, if you suggest that this was one statement on the basis of which the remand has not been granted, then madam, please tell me that why is court today, after hearing to this argument also, not given any relief to Mr. Kejriwal?
Abhinandita Mathur, it's the 4 statements, 4 approvers that Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party has objections to, but those are not the only things that this case is based on, is it? There are several others who've given statements about this alleged scam that the Enforcement Directorate has on record, which they have put out in court as well.
Well, exactly.
So if you accuse the BJP, and the ED of selectively acting or selectively making allegations in case of the BJP, that is the same accusation, the same allegation that the Aam Aadmi Party will also face.
You have to understand the chronology here. The chronology is simple. Arrest, donation, approver, bail. That is the scheme of things. If it was not for the Honorable Supreme Court's judgment on the electoral bonds, we would have never known that this Reddy has paid 55 crores to the BJP. You see, this was not meant to be exposed in the way it is because of the electoral bonds case. And God knows, this is just the beginning of the end. As far as the BJP is concerned, there are so many skeletons in their cupboard. One more thing that, when Shehzad was speaking, I should ask him that did the ED oppose Reddy's bail? You think that the people of this country are foolish and only the BJP is pavitra and only the BJP is intelligent and only the BJP is deshbhakt. We are a country of very, very remarkable people.
Let me answer this.
The way that the BJP is currently destroying the very nature, I am saying that forget about anybody else. I don't think the people in the BJP are going to be safe if things go on like this. What happens to Praful Patel when he joins the BJP? What happens to Himanta Biswas when he joins the BJP? What happens to the over 700 MLAs and MPs who were, called corrupt by the BJP? What happens overnight when they join the BJP? Look, BJP, the current BJP, is the most corrupt party in the world. It is such an embarrassment to this country that somebody like Mr. Modi, who keeps quiet, when Manipur happens, who quiet when the wrestlers are protesting.
Let's stick to this because
let's stick to the subject at hand. Sure, you've made your point. You've made your point, Abhinandita Mathur, you've made your point. Shehzad Poonawalla, this is an allegation, like I said. Yes, Shehzad, it's also the allegation that has been made not just in this case but on multiple occasions, that either cases against those people who switch sides to the BJP are either dropped or they go into cold storage.
Do you think, Shehzad,
you've made your point? Let him respond,
I have
please.
not interrupted you.
Shehzad, go ahead.
Miss Mathur, and I have written down what she said, so I am going to quote her again. She said, chronology samajhiye, first arrest, then approver, then chanda, then approver made, then bail given. This is what she said. Now, Miss Mathur, let me burst your false narrative and propaganda. The first time that this company that you accuse of, the company is different, individual is different, but anyways, the company that you accuse of, the company made the donation not just to BJP but to many parties including your allies like the BRS, was in January 2022. The first time an FIR was filed in this case was in August 2022. The first time this man got bail was in May 2023. So the chronology that you've just explained has exposed you. Why were they paying us money, apparently, even before the case was registered? And if they were paying us before the case was registered, what kind of payment is this that they paid us and we still registered the case and made them the accused in it? So today, Poonam, I want your show to be watched by all the lakhs of people that Miss Abhinandita Mathur does not know her facts. And this is what happens when the Aam Aadmi Party lies about everything. She said PMLA case mein hua hai. Manish Sisodia is in jail not under PMLA case alone, but also under IPC and POCA, which is decided by CBI court, not by a ED court or a PMLA court. But she has lied about that too. Thirdly, Abhinandita Mathur, You are saying this person is corrupt, that person is corrupt. No person who has entered our alliance fold, any case has been stopped. I'll give you two examples specifically. One, Mukul Roy joined our party. He became the vice president. He was grilled by the CBI. Do not interrupt. Do not interrupt. Please wait your turn. Mukul Roy joined our party. Even then the case was not stopped against him. And now Mukul Roy is in the TMC. Please tell us, why did you take this corrupt Mukul Roy back if he had so many cases against him? Secondly, I'll give you a specific example. Pratap Sarnaik, he was with Uddhav Sena. You all said that he is not corrupt. When he joined us, you started saying he is corrupt. Even then, his case was stopped by Uddhav Sena government. We went to High Court in ED and ED said that no, the case will not be stopped. Even today, the case has not been stopped. But I ask you, Lalu is convicted 4 times. Now, Abhinandita Mathur, forget allegations कि मैंने आपको करप्ट बोला, तुमने मुझे करप्ट बोला. Lalu is convicted 4 times, first time in 2013. Today, forget everything else. Do you consider Lalu corrupt? And here is the problem. You used to demand that Lalu should be put in jail, Sonia should be put in jail, Mulayam should be put in jail. Today, you are all protesting with Lalu that I should not be put in jail. With Mulayam's son that I should not be put in jail. With Sonia's son that I should not be put in jail. This is the political transformation that from Anna to Lalu. Can you tell me if Lalu is corrupt or not? And I have explained to you how you are lying on
sure.
the
Abhinandita Mathur,
it's
also about the optics. It's also about the political narrative that we are setting. We are in election season. It may be the unnecessary, unrequired fallout of it, but there definitely are going to be political consequences of this as well.
Absolutely, exactly my point. Look, the legal part of it is one thing, and it is all happening in a political context. That's important to understand. I have heard, Shehzad's the dialogues for the last 1 year, and I think this rhetoric about Lalu corrupt hai ki nahi, ye corrupt hai ki nahi, I've heard this, I'm not falling for this. I think that the simple point is that the BJP only wants to win elections, by hook or by crook. We have seen it enough times. How is it that they are able to topple governments overnight? 2 baje raat ko swearing in ho rahi hai. Have you ever seen something like this? Are you joking? Do you think that we are all foolish, that the whole country is asleep? No, we know that you want to win elections. That's all that you care about. You don't care about the economy. You don't care about...
So as per the opposition, the optics for the BJP are bad. But as far as the Aam Aadmi Party or Arvind Kejriwal is concerned, Abhinandita Mathur, the optics don't look so great for you either. Many say that for Arvind Kejriwal, life's come a full circle. He's gone to jail once in the past, and at that time he was fighting for a stronger anti-corruption law. He was fighting against corruption.
Let me
About a decade later, he's back in jail, but this time he's the one who's facing corruption allegations.
And guess who has put these allegations on him? A party that has not been able to defeat him in Delhi for 2 terms. We get 67, 62 unprecedented mandate, despite the fact that the LG tries to stall the work. Poonam, that really is the problem. They do not have a thought for Arvind Kejriwal. And which is why they are really after him. That is the fact.
Sure. So electorally, Shehzad, I just have 30 seconds left on this. The allegation is, Shehzad, that electorally you cannot defeat the Aam Aadmi Party, which is why you're resorting to such tactics and ensuring that the agencies work at your behest. 30 seconds rebuttal.
ये शराब का मामला है, ये शिक्षा का मामला नहीं है. शराब की बात हो रही है, शिक्षा पर छुपने का काम मत कीजिए.
Congress was the first one to file an FIR or file a complaint. 1 second, don't interrupt now. Poonam, please ensure that I get my 30 seconds.
Yes, 30 seconds, Shehzad. Yes, go ahead.
Time is not cannibalized by her. First of all, Supriya Srinath, Ajay Makan, Pawan Kheda, in fact, who said that it is my complaint because of which the entire liquor probe is happening. And the first complaints by Anil Chaudhary and others, they were the ones who pushed the complaint and pushed the allegations. In fact, even now, people from the Congress are saying that Mr. Kejriwal should resign. Secondly, if ED is so biased, that the same ED Ms. Mathur's party demanded should have arrested Bhapesh Baghel during the Chhattisgarh elections. They did a PC on that. Thirdly, she's saying that Lalu being convicted is rhetoric. It is a fact that he's been convicted multiple times, but today you cannot call Lalu corrupt, and that is your problem. And fourthly, these were the same leaders that you said once upon a time were corrupt and they needed to go to jail. And today when the action is happening, You are saying that this is wrong action.
उन्होंने चोरी कर रखी है, मुलायम सिंह यादव ने चोरी कर रखी है, मायावती ने चोरी कर रखी है, सबने चोरी कर रखी है।
So don't do this
और अगर ये
bachpana.
पार्टियां जन लोकपाल
You
बिल
know,
पास कर
answer
देंगी
the
तो ये
hard
सारे जेल
questions
चले जाएंगे।
that you're asking. You
Sure.
Now
So
I
in a
have to
war
ask,
of-
that
in a
was Arvind
war of-
Kejriwal lying then or
Sure.
Arvind
So in a
Kejriwal
war
lying
of
now?
optics, who exactly is coming out shining bright? That's something that the voters will decide if there is an electoral fallout of that. Meanwhile, the probe against Arvind Kejriwal continues as far as the excise policy is concerned. Unfortunately, I have to leave it at that. I thank you both for joining us on this broadcast, though.